What's good, Horror Horde? This is your boy Horror Gamer back with another video for you. And if you could tell by the title of this video, this is another true ghost story with Horror Gamer. And I'm super pumped to tell you guys this story. It takes place in my old house that I used to live in, and it's a creepy one. So, alright, so we all know from past stories that the house that your boy Horror Gamer grew up was haunted. I'll tell you the backstory behind the house. So back in the mid-70s, there was this couple who lived in this house, and the girl, her name was Angela. I don't know who the boyfriend's, I forget what the boyfriend's name was, but the girl was Angela. Her name was Angela, and she was pregnant. Well, I guess one night, they got into this big argument or whatever, and the boyfriend killed Angela. He took her out to where my kitchen was. At that point, the house was cut off. So the second part of my house was actually built on later on, but the original layout of the house where the kitchen was actually the back door to the backyard, and there was a shed out back. So he drug her out there and he killed her. And then he ran away because he knew he was gonna, get arrested or whatever. And he ran all the way to the quarry that's right near the house, jumped in and drowned himself, and he died too. So that is how, like, in my opinion, that this house is haunted, because there was a murder that is now the kitchen, but it was the backyard. And so, all right, with that background, I'll let you guys know what happened. So I remember this like it was yesterday. My dad and I were sitting downstairs. My mom was at work. She worked third shift at the time. So my dad and I would stay up Friday nights and watch horror movies, you know what I mean, have father-son bonding with horror movies. And I even remember the movie we watched. We were watching House 2, the haunted movie House 2. And we're sitting there, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we hear this loud, like, fucking bang. Like something hit the wall from the steps. Because the way our steps were, you go down the steps, there's a wall, and then if you turn a little to the right, there's another small set of steps. So what happened was, something from the top of the steps flew, hit the wall, and then bounced down the last 3 steps. Here, it was a dog bone. Fun fact, we had a dog. Number one, the dog was downstairs with us. Sorry about the birds chirping, they're really into this story. Number 2, my mom wasn't home. And number 3, even if my dog was upstairs and managed to throw the bone down, there was no way that dog was going to throw that bone with that much velocity, because it was a Pomeranian. I mean, the way this fucking bone hit, it hit like somebody picked that motherfucker up and just threw it down the steps as hard as they could. And it even left an indent in the wall. And the scary part is we never seen the bone before. We never knew the dog had this bone. And it left my dad and I, we were fucking speechless, because here we are watching a horror movie, and all of a sudden you hear this loud bang coming from the steps, and nobody's home. It's just me and him. And so we tried to recreate it, and there was no way, unless, like I said, somebody was standing at the top of the steps and threw it like it was on fire. There was no way it was going to hit that hard. And it did. And we had trouble sleeping that night. And there was also another incident in the house where I told you my mom had worked third shift. This was later down the road. This next part happened, I want to say, about 7 years after the whole bone thing. We decided to foster children. And we had 2 foster boys, and their room was right next to my mom. So I was in the kitchen, I think, getting a snack, because I'm always getting a snack. And I turn around to go into the living room, and I see one of the boys, just the head and the top, the blonde hair, fucking run up the steps. And I go up after him because I'm like, dude, mom's asleep, you know what I'm saying? He was wearing a white t-shirt. And I run up the steps behind him. I'm like, dude, mom's asleep, bro. You need to keep it down. And then when I walked in the room, because I was right behind him, I walked in the room, and I noticed that either one of the boys were wearing a white shirt. And like I said, I didn't see anything from the waist down. I just saw the top up. It was a little blonde kid run up the steps. Oh, God, I get chills about this because I wasn't the only one who's seen this blonde kid. I remember one time we were sitting downstairs having dinner. And after dinner, we would all have after dinner chores. One person would wash the dishes, one person would dry the dishes, one person would take the trash out, you know. And we were all in the kitchen and we look over. And again, we see a boy with a white shirt and blonde hair run up the steps. And all of us were downstairs. So, of course, we're all fucking petrified because we just literally, oh God, I got chills talking about it. I'm really like, we literally see this kid run up the steps. All of us, and we're all in the kitchen. And we don't know what to do. We don't know whether to go up after him. We don't know what to do. So, after a little bit, my mom goes upstairs. And he's gone. The little boy's gone. There was nowhere he could go because we saw him go upstairs. We didn't see him come back down. Oh man, I'll never forget that. We all just stood there in shock for a few seconds and we all looked at each other. Like, what the fuck did we just see? And that was a lot like that throughout the years. That wasn't the only times we saw this little kid. We think that maybe my mom, because my mom was real big into yard selling, we were thinking maybe my mom had picked something up that this kid was attached to at a yard sale and he came with it. Because, I mean, up until maybe 2 years before my mom passed, we would see him from occasion. Time to time, we would see a little blonde-haired kid. We would see him at the corner of our eye. We never got a good look at his face. We always saw just a white shirt and the blonde hair. That was it. We never got a good look at the face. We never saw what he looked like. Because it was like that. It was so quick. So, and to this day, he's probably still there. Unless they got rid of whatever, and then he's probably haunting somewhere else. I don't know. But yeah, Horror Horde, that's my true life ghost story of the time we call it the blonde boy. Because we just don't know where he came from. I've never seen him before. I don't know who he is, but he would, from time to time, he would let us know he was there because he would, fucking take off up the steps at the corner of our eye, and then we would go up there and nobody would be there. And then, I don't know, maybe it was him who threw the bone down the steps. I don't know, because we never found out why that bone went down the steps. We never even found out where the fuck that bone came from, let alone how it flew down the steps. So, but alright, Horror Horde, I hope you enjoyed this story as much as I enjoyed telling it. I hope it gave you the chills, kind of like it gave me. I keep looking over there because I'm expecting to see something. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section what you think. If something happened to you when you were younger, if you have a brush with the paranormal, I'd love to hear it. So, and always, don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button along with the dingly ding ding button. That way every time your boy Horror Gamer throws up a video, you're in the know. So, with all that being said, Horror Horde, I love you guys. Thank you for everything. And as always, don't fear the darkness. Oh, hold on. As always, until next time, don't fear the darkness. Embrace it.